Hello friends, welcome back to my channel chemistry tutorial. So in the previous videos we have learned how to calculate the translational, rotational, vibrational modes and also predict the IR and Raman activity of molecules using group theory. With two examples, that is H2O molecule, that is C2V point group, and POCl3 molecule, that is C3V point group. So if you want to watch the videos, the links are given in the description box. So many people are watching without subscribing. So if you are really benefited from my videos, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that it will be inspiring and it will be motivating me to do more and more good videos for you. So today we are going to learn the third example, that is trans N2F2 molecule. So in the molecule N2F2, that is which is in the trans form, we are going to calculate the vibrational modes of rotation and also we are going to predict whether the modes are IR and Raman active. So let's get started. As you can see in the figure, it is trans N2F2. So the fluorine molecules are in the opposite sides. So the priority is on the opposite side. So we call it as trans. And now the total modes of vibration, we have a formula that is 3n minus 6. If you have doubt, you can check in the previous videos. So n is the number of atoms and here we have 4 atoms. So 3 into 4 minus 6, that is 6. So we have 6 modes of vibration in trans N2F2. So now we are going to find these 6 modes using the group theory. Here you can see the character table for the C2H point group. So trans N2H2 belongs to C2H point group and this is the character table for C2H point group. So there are 4 steps involved. The first step is the generation of the reducible representations. So for that I have said previously that we have to find how many vectors are there and these vectors are going to form the basis for the reducible representation. So considering this molecule we have 12 vectors. So 3 vectors on each atom and thus we have 4 molecules. So we have 12 vectors and they form the basis for the reducible representation. So this is the character of the identity C2Z, sigma XY, XZ, YZ for inversion and for Cn and Sn. So we know the rules for generating a reducible representation. That is every atom shifted during a symmetry operation contributes nothing to the character of the reducible representation, and if there is any atom which is unshifted during a particular symmetric operation, it will contribute an amount to the reducible representation of that particular molecule. So using these conditions we are going to find the reducible representation. So from the character table you can see we have identity elements C2I inversion and mirror plane sigma H. So it is a horizontal plane. So we are going to do all these 4 operations on this N2F2 molecule. So you know this is the structure of N2F2 and in the case of identity all the elements remains unshifted. So number of unshifted atoms. So let us calculate the number of unshifted atoms. So unshifted atoms are 4 in the case of identity. The next one is C2 or Cn axis of rotation. So the C2 axis will pass perpendicular to this particular plane and it will pass through this point. So while we are rotating along this axis, all the 4 atoms will be shifted. So there is no unshifted atom, so 0. In the case of inversion, so this is the inversion point. So while we are inverting the molecule at this point, we can see all the 4 atoms are shifted. So in case of I also there is the number of atoms unshifted is 0. And the last one is sigma H. Sigma H is the XY plane, that is the plane of the molecule. So when we are passing a mirror plane along the plane of the molecule, all the 4 atoms will remain unshifted and so we have 4 unshifted atoms. So now we are representing it with this table, that is the symmetry operation E C2Z I sigma XY. So the number of unshifted atoms has been calculated 4004 and the character of these elements E C2Z I and sigma XY is 3 minus 1 minus 3 and 1. So we have to multiply these. So 4 into 3, 12, 0 into minus 1, 0, 0 into minus 3, 0 here 4. So the reducible representation is 12004. As you can see here, that is 12004. The next step is the decomposition of the reducible representation into irreducible representation. We are going to calculate the number of irreducible representations using this formula. So this is the character table, and AG, AU, BG and BU are the irreducible representations. So we have to note one thing: if there is inversion center, then we will represent as AG, AU, BG and BU. So G and U comes only when there is inversion. If there is no inversion, we will represent as A1, A2, B1, B2 and so on. So here we are going to first calculate the number of AG. So that is the number of irreducible representation AG. So here the order is 4 because there are 4 operations. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So the order is 4. So 1 by 4, that is the order 4 into summation of the character of the reducible representation. For identity element it is 12. So 12 into 1. Then we have 0 in the reducible representation. So 0 into 1, 0, 0 into 1, 0. And in the case of n here, we have only 1 E, 1 C2Z, 1 I and 1 sigma H. The number of operations in a particular class is given by n. So in this case, we have only 1 operations in each class. So we can write n as 1. So in this case, we have 0 and 0 for sig2h and I. And in the case of sigma xy, that is sigma h, we have 4 in the reducible representation, and in this case we have 1. So together we get we have 4 AGs. Similarly, we are going to calculate AU, BG and BU. So finally, we will get the irreducible representation as 4AG plus 2AU and 2BG and 4BU. So this is the irreducible representation for N2 trans N2 F2 molecule. Now we have to separate the translational, rotational and vibrational modes of motion. So the translational, rotational, vibrational motions, together we have this irreducible representation. For translational, we should check in this character table whether we have X, Y and Z. For rotational, Rx, Ry and Rz. So the remaining will give the vibrational modes of rotation. So translational mode we can calculate. So here in the AU we have Z. In the BU we have X and Y. So we have 1 AU and 2 BU in translational motion. Similarly, Rx and Ry in BG and Rx in AG. So 1 AG in rotation and 2 BG in rotation. So the remaining will be the vibrational modes. So here we have 3 AG plus 1 AU plus 2 BU. So these are the vibrational modes of motion. In the beginning, we calculated that we have 6 modes of vibration, and here you can see 3 plus 1, 4 plus 2, 6. With the 3 and minus 6 also you got 6, and here also you got 6 modes of vibration. So the answer we derived was correct. So now we have to calculate whether these vibrational modes are IR and Raman active or not. So we are going to find whether they are IR and Raman active. We know for IR active there should be X, Y, Z. And for Raman active we should have linear combinations of this X, Y and Z. So we have to check this with the character table. So this is the character table. We have AG, AU and BU. And we have to check whether they are IR active. So let us check for AG. In AG we don't have X, Y, Z. So AG is not IR active. That is IR inactive. Next we have AU. In the case of AU we have an Z. So AU is IR active. Next we have BU. In BU also we have X and Y. So BU is also IR active. Next we are going to check for Raman activity. So in this we have to check the last column of the character table, and there should be linear combination of these x, y, z orbitals or multiplications of these x, y, z orbitals. So let us check for AG. Yes, in AG we have x square minus y square, z square, some combinations of these x, y, z. So AG is Raman active. Next we have AU. In the case of AU we don't have any combinations. And AU is Raman inactive. And we have BU. In case of BU also we don't have any combinations of these orbitals. So again BU is Raman inactive. So there is a shortcut or a simple term, that is, if there is inversion present in a particular character table, then it will be a controversial case. That is, if a particular modes of vibration is IR inactive, it will be Raman active, and if it is IR active, it will be Raman inactive. So it is a controversial case. Like inversion means it is like opposite. So in that sense, if we keep in mind, it will be easy for us to predict whether it is IR and Raman active. If we know IR activity, we can find the Raman activity and vice versa. So finally, we found the vibrational modes of motion for a particular trans N2F2 molecule and also the IR and Raman activity. So if you really find this video useful, please like the video and share to the maximum. And if you have any video suggestions, you can drop it in the comment section. I will try my best to give you that videos also. So see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.